Hi there, it's Jane Birkinshaw from Love Your Lens here, and I'm here to talk to you again on our regular little slot about the Live Shoot Love Challenge that I set for last week, and then the topic that we've got going forward for the new week starting from this morning. So hello to any new members. I see we've had a few over the weekend. This is a regular slot where I talk to you about the photography challenge. If you would like to join in, you just have to click on this post here where you can sign up for a free weekly email, and then watch out on a Monday for the new topic to be posted by me sometime during the morning usually, and then the email should usually follow slightly later on in the day. So I'm going to try and keep it a bit shorter today, and I know that'll make a few people laugh because I often say that and then end up rambling on, but I'll try not to do that. So the theme for the week that's just gone by was peaceful, and we had a lot of really good images as usual, and what I've done here is narrowed it down to about 8 or 9 that I particularly wanted to make comment on for one reason or another, and then at the end I'm going to say which one was my favourite image of the week and why. And favourite doesn't always mean best. It means that I think that somebody's really imaginatively interpreted the brief, or somebody's made me laugh, or whatever reason. So I do that to make it fair, so that everybody's got a good chance of being getting the favourite image every now and again. So the first image I've got here, and I hope I get the names correct as I go through, this one's by Emma Hayes, and it's one of her beautiful beagles. And I don't think you could get a much more peaceful shot than here, where this dog is obviously really enjoying sitting in a spot of warm sunshine. Really nice capture, Emma, nice spot. The only thing I would say is the dog is slightly overexposed in certain areas. I can imagine why, very, very bright sunshine. But again, that is something that you can address when you are taking the shot, either in manual exposure, or you could use your exposure compensation to just knock that down a tiny bit. And I think it would then bring up some quite interesting contrasts as well if you did that, but a really lovely capture. Okay, this next one is by Jules Hill, and again I just felt, I instantly get that it must feel so peaceful looking at that view and watching the sunset. The waves aren't big, there'll be some noise from the water, but still that would be something that would put the world to rights for me and make me feel very peaceful and happy. And for those people who often wonder what I'm going on about when I said your image has got to have a point of focus, just imagine if this lady wasn't there, and however nice the scenery is, and Jules has got foreground interest, middle ground, background in the sky, it would still be not as good and stronger image as it is with somebody there telling the story, in effect, of somebody enjoying looking at that scene and enjoying the piece of it. So that's the importance of having a focal point in your image. Nice capture here from Rachel Burton. I particularly liked the light on the gate here. I think there's something really interesting going on there. Potential to revisit that and perhaps do a more cropped in shot of the gate. The sky is obviously lovely as well, and some nice silhouettes going on. So certainly a nice spot, Rachel, to go and watch the sunset again and have a play. One of the reasons I picked this out was to show people who may not have experienced it yet, or may not know what it is. These grey dots, so sorry to pick on you, Rachel, but I know you can take it. This is dirt on the camera sensor, and you can edit it out easily with most of the software around, not just Photoshop. There's one there as well, and as you went through this image I think you'd actually spot quite a lot. So Rachel, probably there they are as well there. The more you look, the more you find them. Rachel needs to get the sensor cleaned on her camera, which you can do by taking it into any camera shop, leaving it or waiting depending on the shop. So yeah, Rachel, I hope I've done a praise sandwich type thing there, where I really do like what's going on in the image here, but I wanted people to be able to learn from what these splodges are. Nice interpretation of the theme Peaceful here by David Reilly. And I think if you'd have played around a little bit, perhaps you were worried about disturbing her with the click of the camera, that potentially there could have been some really nice shots here, and opportunity to convert into black and white and get in close, and things like that. So yeah, very peaceful moment in a child and grandparents' day as well. Okay, and this one is Kath Boonton, and yeah, another peaceful concept, very still water, somebody at peace with the world, enjoying a moment to themselves. I did and ah about this one for a while and wonder about, you know, commenting on the composition and saying perhaps it would have looked better using the good old rule of thirds. But then the more I thought about it, the more I actually like that you've broken the rules there, because it gives a sense of the space that is around the guy in his boat, by putting him in the middle of all that space. So perhaps a good example of, when you do break the rule, you don't apply the good old rule of thirds. And I think the colours work really well. The fact that that is a strong red boat in all that muted, recessive blues and greens and browns of the landscape. This is Julie Benson, as she's often known on Facebook. Again, a really good concept for peaceful, and I like the depth of field, and I like the colours in the shot. What I'm not as bothered about really is how tightly cropped it is to the chap there. I think had it been a little less tightly cropped, it would have been a stronger shot, but all the elements are there to tell a story. And it's, you know, it's quite a humorous shot in some ways as well. The guy's fast asleep, and all Emma wants to do is, not Emma, sorry, Benson. All Benson wants to do is take pictures, and the dog just wants to play. This shot by Karen Herrmann Wright. One of the main reasons I picked this out, I mean, Karen's nailed peaceful in terms of peaceful for her. She's managed to find a little sort of corner away from all the bustle of the main cafe, where she's doing editing of a lovely cake by the looks of it, and she's got her own quiet spot there. One of the reasons I wanted to show this is because she's kind of dealt with some really difficult lighting there. She's obviously got her dark shady corner where she's working, she's got the computer screen correctly exposed, the room is well exposed, the main room is slightly overexposed because of what's going on in here, but a good job on handling the composition and telling a little story there. Then this shot, more unusual, by Liz Kenney. This was mainly to do with the interpretation of the theme and then the story that Liz gave us behind that. This is a statue that is dedicated to reducing knife crime. So all of these, as you can see when you start to really look at the detail on the chest here, are knives and knife blades. So great interpretation of the theme, and then I love what Liz has done with the editing of it as well, the textures that she's put in there, the conversion to black and white. I think it works really, really well on this image, and that was a very close contender to being my favourite for this week, Liz. Again, nice imaginative interpretation of the brief here from Lisa, I think. Lisa Rosco. This rose, its name is Peace. So nice photograph of a rose, nicely in focus, nice with the water droplets on it, and good interpretation of the theme. And then if we come on finally to a shot that was very popular with many of you, very nicely shot, the light's beautiful, the depth of field is stunning, the colours are fabulous. And this bokeh in the background here, for those of you who, that's B-O-K-E-H, a Japanese term for this very shallow focus. What happens when areas of light are caught basically by the blades of the inside the camera lens, and they render it virtually circular, and it's very pretty and very aspirational. I also like, have I mentioned who took the shot? Elaine Boonton. I also love the way that she's added the text, picked out the colour, and basically it's a greetings card in the making. And our best wishes go to Elaine as well, because she's having a fairly big operation today, and I hope it's gone well for her. So that's it in terms of pictures for last week's theme. This week's theme, I was playing a bit of a guess the theme first thing this morning when I forgot to tell you what the actual theme was, even though I posted some pictures. This week's theme is black and white portrait, and I'm not going to waffle on. The best way you can find out about the theme and perhaps how to deliver really well on it is by signing up for the email if you haven't already done so. If you have done so, go searching through your inbox and find it and open it, and you'll find quite a few tips from me on how to deliver a really good black and white portrait. So if we just drop down through here, this is some of the shots that I've put on to represent black and white portrait. But bear in mind as well, a portrait can be an animal, a portrait can actually be a plant or something as well. So think widely and have a great week submitting your images, and I look forward to being able to close this app and stop recording, but I look forward to seeing your images and speaking to you again next week. Bye bye.